Welcome to the Network Build Grow podcast, the show where business owners, entrepreneurs, and professionals share their stories, lessons learned, and powerful strategies for building relationships and growing their circle of influence. With Melissa Taylor, your host, each week we'll bring you actionable insights to help you build a better network and a better business. Let's dive in.
Well, hello. Welcome to the Network Build Grow podcast. Beth Johnson, my right hand for a few years. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic, Melissa. How about yourself?
I'm great. So I have to brag on you for a minute. Beth she was my executive assistant for a few years, and I just cannot give her enough kudos for helping us out with everything that she did, helping me with standard operating procedures, getting some virtual assistants on board. Just thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
Well, I appreciate the compliment, and it was a pleasure working with you all those years. And, as you say, we grow. So that's great. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Now, your business has morphed since then. We actually met through Network Build Grow. So there's that.
Yes.
But now you have morphed into more, tell me a little bit more about the online business management. How's that different from just like the executive assistance that you were doing with me?
So what our business does is we're more of a consulting. So we're kind of doing more director of operations and OBM, online business management. So we kind of do more of the project management, overseeing things, not doing so much of the task anymore. We kind of look like be the eyes and ears over the forest. So we kind of give you strategies and look all of the objectives of your business and see how everything is working. So that's how I do it now instead of being more of a virtual assistant. So it's just kind of grown into this little baby that we've kind of grown. So it's been good.
That kind of feels like what happened with us. You started kind of tactical. And then as our team grew, you were kind of, I guess, the leader of the virtual assistants as we were hiring them and kind of setting the strategy for them. So now that is more what you do, is kind of the overseeing of the team, so to speak.
Yes. And so then I also help out hiring them and looking at them and making sure that there is the right, what are your values? What are your boundaries? And make sure that you don't have to go through that process of knowing I have to rehire again in 3 months or 6 months or whatever. Yeah. So try to find the right person for you at that time.
So I would imagine that networking is a huge thing in your business, not only to find clients, but also you probably have a huge network of people that do worker bees, right? The people that actually do the things.
Yes. So, I really build my business on referrals, because not to say that I want to do bookkeeping. I work with bookkeepers to make sure that my clients can have a good bookkeeper, and I want to make sure that I'm giving them the best product. So if there's I always have about 2 or 3, maybe even 4 people in my network that I can work with, because not everyone's price point is the same. Everyone's visions are not the same, and their boundaries are not. So I try to find some people that really work with them and say, hey, here are my top 3 people that I suggest that you talk to and see if they work for you. So I'm not making those decisions for them. I want to be able to give them that bridge, that bridge.
Yeah.
For the gap.
Yeah. So you probably have a huge Rolodex, so to speak. Oh, showing my age there.
Yes, Rolodex. We love those old Rolodexes, don't we?
Gotta love that. Yeah, that old Rolodex. Okay, so that's on that side of it. Now, as far as your client acquisition side, how has network played a part in you actually gaining your clients?
Huge. Because that's how I get to know people. When I go to a networking event, I'm giving value to them and kind of just getting to know them, and they just want to absorb more. So I have just learned throughout the years is give them some value, find out how they are. You can test drive them and they can test drive you. And then it just kind of morphs into, getting more and more people on your roster. So it works out great.
Yeah, that's good. Now, would you say that when you go to networking is not an event, right? It's a lifestyle. But when you're meeting these people and you're kind of following up with them, would you say that they themselves turn into clients, or they refer you to people that they know and those people turn into clients? If you had to guess what the percentage is of that, what would you say?
I would say it's probably more of those people that I meet are 70% of those people are giving referrals to me because they're like, oh, I know a girl that knows a girl. And I always try to do my networking as I'm not necessarily doing work with you. I'm looking through you because the people behind you could actually be my clients.
Gotcha.
So I want to get them into my circle. So then when they go and talk to someone, they can say, oh, I know Firefly. You should talk to Beth Johnson because she does this, this, and this. And then that's how I kind of have people come out and ask me to kind of look at their business and see if it's a good fit.
Yeah. And it's funny. I talk to some people and they're like, well, I don't want to give away the stuff. I don't want to give away anything. I don't want to give value. And I'm like, but think of it this way. If I met you at a networking event and you asked me a question about, say, speaking, because I coach people on speaking, and I gave you some hints and some tidbits, some value, really good value that helps you. And now you don't really need me anymore because I gave you value. But when you meet a speaker, you're going to be like, oh, I met Melissa and she gave me some great value. You should call her. And so that's kind of what you're saying, right? Is give them value.
Give them the value because I've learned that from Network Build Grow is like you're getting that stuff where you can say, here, you need to talk to Melissa because she is that speaker that you want to talk to. So I always just look at networking as I'm looking through you because the people behind those people that I'm talking to could potentially be my clients.
Yeah.
And referral partners.
Exactly. So let's go back to your business for a second. It's called Firefly. Is that correct?
It's called Firefly Consulting Group. We used to be called Firefly VA Services, but we've morphed into Firefly Consulting Group because we're kind of all encompassing in one. So we've kind of changed that. It's kind of coming in 2026. So our new website will be live in 2026, but currently we're still Firefly VA Services online. So.
Okay, great. And when somebody kind of works with you, is it a situation where it's like an annual contract? Is it project based? What is kind of the general?
So what we do is we kind of do two items. We do fire. It's called a fire starter, where you can do one or two.
That's so cute.
Objectives of your business. So we kind of dive into one of those areas in your business, whether it be operations, marketing, vision, values, and then we kind of dive into that and kind of break it down, and I kind of give you a summary of it. Or you can do a full strategic mapping where I do 7 objectives of your business and kind of go through. It's a 3-day process. Mm-hmm. Think of it 3 sessions at 90 minutes. Mm-hmm. And we kind of break down everything. And I ask you tons and tons of questions to really have you start thinking. And we're giving you an action, clarity, action, and a plan. So we're kind of looking at everything within your business. And then we strategically put everything in order for you visually on a Trello board or a ClickUp board so you can actually have access to it and you build it. I design it for you and say, here's what I think, what are you thinking? And let's put those things in order for you. And
so then that kind of lets you find the holes, right? You're kind of finding the holes in your boat, the holes in your boat.
The holes in your boat. And then if you need a hiring project afterwards or, retainer services, we can offer those as well for you.
Okay.
And then a little tidbit, we can do, consulting as well. So if you need some one-offs where you're not quite sure if you're there yet, where you need that hiring project or that retainer, we can do some consulting services as well for you.
Okay, perfect. So what made you want to get into this line of work?
Well, my background is project management. So I've done that for years and years and years. And then I was a teacher for a while, and then COVID hit. And I decided to get out of it and figured, hey, I'm not really feeling this anymore. And I kind of thought, why don't I do my project management with my teaching skills and kind of mesh them together? And that's how Firefly kind of got started. Okay.
So it was born in COVID years.
Born in COVID. So I had this itch of just having that entrepreneurial spirit. And I'm like, this is the time. God is telling me that this is the time for me to take the leap. And I took the leap of faith, and it's been very successful. So I'm happy.
So had you done much true networking prior to that?
No.
So tell me about that first kind of event that you darkened the door?
I remember going to a large networking event and I felt very out of place. I was so nervous. I was getting sweaty palms and I was nervous. I didn't have my pitch or anything like that. And I was just like, this is really tough. And I'm like on the stage talking and I'm like, I don't really like this. And then I went back the next time and I got more and more comfortable and I'm like, this is not too bad. And then I was starting to meet people that were referral partners and coming to be clients. And I was like, this isn't so bad. So I remember that very first time I was just so nervous. I was just early, but sweaty. And I was like, I am not in my comfort zone right now.
So what advice would you give for somebody when they're kind of doing that for the first time?
I would say go in humble. Don't go in arrogant. Just be yourself, because when you go into a room and you're just confident and you're just humble, people are attracted to you. When you come in kind of arrogant and like, I know it all, you just give that vibe where it's just uncomfortable and no one really wants to really have a one-on-one conversation with you. So that's my advice that I have learned through my networking of seeing people, and gone to some of, we've been part of events and I'm just like, not my person coming right at me. I don't care for that.
Yeah. It's interesting that you said that, confident and humble. And those two words do go together, and it really makes you more approachable.
Yes.
When you are confident and humble.
And you're friendly, and people just want to come into your world and go, I like her. I could have a cup of coffee with her at my kitchen table.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do.
Yeah. If you network for your business, you already know follow-up is everything when it comes to growing relationships and driving success. But here's the thing. Most of us want to follow up well. We just get stuck. Staying consistent, keeping it personal, making it stand out, it's hard. That's why I use NetEffect.io. It makes follow-up simple, cuts through all the noise, and helps me stay on top of every relationship without dropping the ball. I never miss a follow-up, and honestly, my network wouldn't be the same without it. So check it out, NetEffect.io. And right now, you can use promo code NBG50 for 50% off of your first month. NetEffect.io, your secret weapon to unforgettable follow-up. Okay, so now let's talk about what you do when you leave and how you kind of stay connected to those people. I mean, we're assuming that you're probably going to go back to some of the same events and maybe see the same people over and over, but there's still those gaps of time in between, which is where the real magic happens. So how do you stay in touch with people?
So I always try to keep in contact with the people within like 24 to 48 hours and send them an email or a text message. And then I kind of like focus on what we spoke about at that meeting. I always try to get their first and last names, and then kind of want to get to know them personally. Like, hey, how was your kid's baseball game yesterday? Or, hey, did you get to do this event a couple of days ago? I'd really be interested. Just kind of get into their world so they know I'm not just trying to be salesy, because that's not who I am. I want to get to know them personally. And then that starts the conversation. And then I kind of follow up within 30 days, 60 days as well.
Okay, great. And I know you have a way to track it because that's what you do. So that's good. So what legacy kind of are you hoping to leave? I mean, you have this business now. I know your kids are grown and doing their kind of thing. So what is this? What does life look like in 5 years for Beth Johnson?
You know what? I want to keep this just it's all about quality for me. It's not about quantity. It's about just making people happy and seeing that spark in their eyes when they fix something or get something done in their business and they feel like aha, I'm good. I just want to have them have a really great experience and be walking away and saying, I really want to work with someone like that. And who knows what the future holds? I don't know. I'm just going to live it like it is right now and just have fun with it.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, let's do some rapid fire questions. Okay. And these will be about networking. So first thing that pops into your mind. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. One common mistake that people make when they go networking.
They give their business cards off right away.
Yeah.
Those are, if I get a business card, it's probably going to go in the trash right away because I don't know who you are. I don't know what type of business I don't know who you are.
Would you rather you ask for it, or are you okay with them offering it at the end of a conversation that you've actually had?
I think it depends on the situation, but I always ask for them, hey, can I get your business card? I'd really like to keep in touch.
Okay.
Or if they say, hey, do you mind if I give you my business card? Absolutely. If it's at the end of the conversation, I will 100% take it. But if it's the first thing that you give me, I probably am not interested.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always a no-no. Okay. Here's another one. What's one way to add value to your network without expecting anything in return?
Just give people nuggets. That's what they want. They want to be able to walk away with some wins instead of just nothing at all, because some of these people are coming to a networking event that have never done it. They don't know what they're doing. And if you can say, hey, let me share this with you. Here's a quick win. Here's something for you to do. They feel like, oh my gosh, I want to come back. This is so great. Or maybe they want to meet you on a one-to-one and maybe they can get more value, but just enough where they feel special and feel like they're getting something.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Great advice. Okay. One more. Actually, you kind of already did this one, but I'm going to ask it in a different way.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm going to ask this other one.
Okay.
How do you get out of an awkward conversation at a networking event?
Oh, you had to ask. You had to ask that, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you know what? I always just listen as intently as I possibly can, and then I just say, hey, thank you so much for your time. I might just kind of ease back a little
Body
bit.
language.
Yeah, like they kind of just say, I'm like, it's so great to see you. I have some things to take care of over here. Or hey, you know what? I'm going to connect with this person over there. Let's connect later. I kind of just try to do it as kindly as I possibly can, just to kind of get out of the situation. Or if there's an uncomfortable situation or conversation, I always say, I kind of just change the mood or lightheartedness and put a little fun to it and say, hey, I think we need to change the topic a little bit. How about that? And just kind of ease my way out instead of not saying, sorry, I'm not for you.
Yeah, that's great.
You just try to be nice, be kind.
Yeah, be kind. Exactly. So what do you do if someone kind of steers the conversation towards, politics or religion or something that's happening in the world that really doesn't have a place in the conversations that are happening in the room?
And I've had that happen where those uncomfortable, I'm like, that's just really something that's a no-fly zone for me. So I'm going to just like bail out of this conversation if you don't mind. And I just say it with grace and kindness and say, it's not something that I really like to discuss at this time. And I just don't think there's any value to it in this conversation. So
Right.
I'm happy to discuss about something else, but that's a no-fly zone for me.
I like the way you put that. That's a no-fly zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you kind of just say it that way, you're not being mean, but you're also like just kind of putting your boundaries up and saying that's not something that we should just really talk about.
Yeah. First of all, you don't probably know the person well enough.
Correct. So, and I don't want to infringe on their privacy, and I certainly don't want them to infringe on mine.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, let's end it on a high note.
Okay.
All right. Tell me just a quick story of one of your best experiences networking.
Well, I would just say, and this is to you.
Oh, okay.
This is a kudos to you. You always gave me advice when we would network, and you would say, and it was when I was first coming, is everyone is at a different stage of their business. So I might be on chapter 12 where you might be on chapter 1, but don't compare yourself to someone that's in chapter 15 of their business versus someone that is in 1, because everyone is different. And so you just have to take it your time and learn the ropes and just take it as it is. You don't need to know everything at once. Yeah. So that was my experience with networking, is because I came into networking thinking that, oh my gosh, these people are so smart. They know what they're doing. And I don't know what I'm doing at all. And when you said that, that was such a calming to me, knowing that I'm in a different spot in my life versus you, who's been doing it for a really long time. And when I was starting, so I'm not at that chapter 1 anymore. I'm on chapter 5. So
I think you're well past chapter 5,
well,
but yes. Yeah. And it's funny because, that's true about everything in business. A lot of people get discouraged just about their business in general, not just about their networking skills, but they compare their business to people that have been doing it longer and they get discouraged and things. So that's a true statement, even about a lot of things.
And I think sometimes younger people that are just starting out, or even people my age or your age that are just starting out because they want something new and fresh, they burn out because they feel like they got to just do everything all at once like everybody else. And it's not the case. Just take your time. You're on your own time, in your own pace.
Yeah. So, well, that's a great way to wrap it up. You're on your own time, at your own pace, and it doesn't have to match everybody else's.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I love
enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Just enjoy it. Well, thanks for being here with me today, and I hope that you have a great rest of the week.
Thank you so much for having me, Melissa. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the Network Build Grow podcast. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow entrepreneur or professional. And of course, if you're not yet part of our community, visit networkbuildgrow.com to connect with us. Until next time, keep building and keep growing.